part of the job description. None of this was part of the job description. They failed to mention that part.
I am so tired. I'm exhausted.
On the occasion of the recent Meg 2 release, we would like to go back and see how they created the previous film, The Meg. So today we're going to share how this film was made, from the shark and everything in between.
In a shark cage by yourself, and they close all of the door. It seems like claustrophobic, but our crew is so professional, they're gonna make me very safe. And I have to wear a lot of weights to help me keep down there.
But before we get into more of these moments, some trivia for you. The film is based on a novel of the same name by Steve Allen. What year was that book released? Leave your answers in the comments down below and stick around to the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct.
A lot of the stuff we do with Jason, we know his physicality and kind of know what he likes and what he doesn't like. So a lot of the things that he was doing, he was physically holding on himself. So if anything happens or he doesn't like it anymore, instead of him relying on someone else to push a button to stop something, he can basically release or let go of it.
This 2018 science fiction film, in my opinion, is one of my personal favorites, and very glad they were able to pull it all together, considering this one was one of those projects that was stuck in development hell, those in Hollywood like to call it. Originally, Walt Disney Studios had the rights to make the film until it eventually fell into Warner Brothers' laps and they took over the project. We get to see how they shot the underwater shark attack scenes.
Jason Statham did, though. Had a couple of stunts that he did himself, diving off the boat, being dragged behind the boat in all kinds of various ways, and I gotta hand it to him, that's some tough stuff. And
every time you've ever seen a movie where someone's swimming, there is somebody in a wetsuit scuba diving beneath them.
Visual effects were made by Sony Pictures Imageworks, Image Engine, and Scanline VFX.
I want to make sure we had that rapport beforehand so that she trusts me and so that she know that she was safe, and I think she did.
Paige says that he is saving me like a joke, and then I said, I'm saving you.
The visual effects team was challenged with designing a previously undiscovered prehistoric giant shark and designing the underwater environments and atmospherics, including realistic coral reefs, bubbles, and other sea life.
Everything that you see when we're actually under the water with a shark is computer generated. We took a lot of photographic reference, full body scale, close-up facial scale. Interestingly, hair is quite a challenge on any digidouble. Jason's shaved head, slight stubble on the chin, and that was pretty tricky to do, actually.
Previs was done for the Mariana Trench discovery sequence, so what we did was set up a blocking pass and plot out the path of camera and submersibles through the environment with the rough shape of the trench, explains VFX supervisor Raymond Chen.
We really wanted Jason for this movie because he had never done a movie like this. We thought it was an opportunity both to show him in a different light and also give us the opportunity of using his talent in a different way than had been used before. He's not a fighter in this movie. It's not about that. We wanted a man who's gone through real trauma.
At many points, I kind of believe that they used a tank to shoot some of the scenes underwater. However, it was just the modeling of the glider when they are battling the shark in the final scenes that was real, and the ocean around them was completely green screen.
I'm really glad you're capturing this. I think one of the days was almost 8 hours in the water solidly, and between treading and sprinting for my life, for that entire time, I got to the very end and my body couldn't do it anymore.
The first submersible launches deployable lights that are tethered to an anchor. The anchor goes to the seafloor with the light hovering 10 or 15 feet above it. That allows the filmmakers to say, "There's our light source." Having those deployable lights was a wonderful concept, being able to get light into the environment, he continued. And looking at the process of how they put this all together is really interesting considering how long it took to get the overall picture on the big screen as far as the shark itself.
As well as it looking awesome and sometimes graceful and very at home in the water, But most of all, I think what we're trying to do is get away from the shark that everyone's seen, which is the great white.
We also wanted to give a shout out to our DC Thursday winner. If you guys didn't know, we ask a challenging DC related trivia question over on our community tab. You answer it correct, you get a chance to have your answer featured here in one of our videos.
And those things are all make me feel exhausted, a little bit terrifying, and very excited. My adrenaline just come up fighting with the scene, and it's so exciting.
This was a challenge for the director and producer in using the talents of Jason Statham and what he put into this film.
Is it harder making a movie in the middle of the ocean than on a set? Where if it rains, it doesn't matter. If there's noise, it doesn't matter. It's always a nice temperature, everyone's happy. It's not gonna suddenly get windy. Yeah, easier. Better? No.
And if we want to get up close and personal with the fight scene between the Meg and Jason, VFX artists explain the process in that scene. They reference a digital double, which I personally never heard of before.
We built on set a shark's head to scale, which he stabbed, and he did a lot of his own stuff. But as we came into post and this shot expanded and became a much bigger thing, we knew that we were going to have to use our digi-double, and he was going to have to stand up to quite close scrutiny.
And of course, these shots were actually done in the middle of the ocean, so a lot of this film was created using water simulation. And if you don't know, water animation is a lot of work to get visually correct and have realism to it. But like I said, me thinking this was somewhat done in the ocean, I'd say they did a pretty good job at making it look realistic.
We were able to employ the idea that they were in silhouette. We made out there was more light on one side than the other to sort of, pick out a rim light on the back of the shark. Huge depths of water are not something that you would traditionally see in real photography, but the film needed that kind of depth, that kind of distance.
Meg 2: The Trench has already released in the US on August 2nd, and already the director is talking about a third film. You don't want to talk about it until Meg 2's out, he says, but I hope so. There's a lot more to explore in that world. It's very rich. The internationalness of it is very interesting, he said.
Concentrated, working all day, remembering your lines, really listening, relating, bringing yourself, making sure you haven't forgotten anything. When you're trying to do that in the water while doing this all day, it's pretty grueling.
On the other side, however, we will have to wait to see how well the second installment does in the box office to determine if they will even do another sequel, possible or not, as it seems nowadays they don't want to waste resources if the previous sequel doesn't do well. So hopefully it lives up to their expectations.
What if I animated the environment? What if I grabbed the environment, and when the shark's moving this way, I animate the environment that way, and then when shark turns, I animate the environment that way. So I did it, I published it. The next morning we had back renders, we showed them, and they were like, yeah, thanks, well done.
The Meg was released in the United States on August 10th, 2018, where it was a box office success and grossed over $530 million worldwide.
Swimming was not something that I did a lot as a kid or as an adult. And so it didn't come naturally to me, but coming here and these guys, the stunt guys, they were fantastic and getting me prepared and ready and comfortable in the water since we had to spend so much time in it.
So that worked, right?
That looked great.
It received mixed reviews from critics, but hopefully this next project will follow the lead of the first in regards to box office numbers, so we will get to see a third one and see what they can do with this universe. And as far as the answer to our trivia question, Meg, a novel of deep terror, was published in 1997.
You're tired already?
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm scared.
Because you're nervous.
I'm not scared of the water. I'm scared of why do I feel tired?
Because you don't breathe enough.
This is a casting of a small megalodon tooth. She had these little saw blade edges to them. This is a casting of a real fossil bit that's been in the sea for a long time, and it's still reasonably sharp.
We wanted to turn this around to you guys. What were your thoughts on all of these moments? Which one was your favorite, and have you seen this second film yet? If so, what did you think? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys.
She loved it. She couldn't get into that water fast enough.
Yeah, I just loved it and I was so excited, and Paige threw me into the ocean and then I was like, that was so fun.